friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I need to do several plant chores, some of which are on the bigger side, so I thought it'd be more fun if I brought y'all along with me and we could do them together, and maybe you can pick up some plant chores or some repotting or watering or something and do them along with me, because it just makes it more fun and we can kind of body double together. So I actually have a list here of the things that I would like to get done today. I'm going to try to get done today, hopefully. So I want to water my cacti and succulents because it is the first of the month today. I try and water them at the very beginning of every month. I want to sulfur treat some of my bedroom plants and also clean the ceiling because I've been experiencing a little bit of mold and I want to deal with that. Potentially rearrange my cabinet because I've been taking things out a lot recently. And I feel like it just feels a bit empty, so I want to refill it up. Water some moss poles. I want to extend my raphidophora tetrasperma moss pole because it's been at the top of that pole for ages and I've just kept cutting it. I feel like I may as well just let it get taller. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I'm gonna try. And then I need to check up on my box of rehabbing plants that I have been, I guess since October. I was trying to bring plants back from the dead, as well as just some props are in there as well. So gonna go through that and see how things are doing because I've honestly not looked in it in like a few months now. And it was the same thing that happened with the plant swap plants. I just kind of put them in a box and like put them somewhere that they can get humidity and light and it'll be fine. So yeah, I want to check up on that. But before we get into any of that, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into these plant chores. So I think these are the plants that I'm going to try and sulfur treat first, because I also need to clean this area. This bit in my home, this like section, gets terrible airflow, and it is the coldest part of the flat. Like literally from here over, I don't think there's any insulation in the ceiling. It's kind of got external walls, and so it just ends up getting a little bit dank, for lack of a better word, up there. So I'm going to wash the ceiling as well. It's just something that happens and it's fine, I can manage it, but that's why I want to do these plants first to get them out of the way. And I think I'm also going to spray my raphidophora tetrasperma because once we extend the pole, I feel like I'm not going to want to do it once I extend the pole, so I may as well do it now while it's slightly smaller, because this is a freaking huge plant already. But I just feel like it could be bigger. Why not? Why not make it even bigger? So I think it makes the most sense to actually spray the raphidophora down first before I bring the rest of these plants over. I was gonna bring them all over to the bathtub and then do them all at once. But if I can spray this one and then push it to the back of the bath, I think it will be slightly more convenient because it's kind of big, and then I can go through and bring all these in and fill up a load in the bath and get things as sprayed as possible. It's just a whole lot of work and I haven't missed doing it at all. I'm hoping that this will be the last time that I have to spray these plants with sulfur fungicide. Let me grab the bottle. So this is the stuff that I'm using, and I think it has been working. I want to do a whole nother round of spraying before I like go in and check with a microscope, given a lot of these plants didn't have flat mites to begin with, but I was just being like extra careful. And this stuff does also kind of work on like spider mites and thrips and stuff as well. I think you need to do it at different frequencies because the life cycle of thrips and spider mites is much faster than that of flat mites, and so if you're just trying to treat flat mites, you can like do the treatment less frequently than you would have to with the other ones. But if I just do everything, then I can be sure that I don't have the flat mites. I think. I hope. But I think this is going to do the trick one last time, and then I can have clean plants again, because I'm like really not enjoying these spots all over my plants. So let us bring this big boy to the bathroom. It is so big. Those roots. Maybe I need to pot this one in a bigger pot. It's doing so well. Love the retusa. So now I have to let these all dry off completely before putting them back in their spots. I'll probably put them back this evening, I think, time-wise. That usually is the amount of time it takes them to dry off all the way. And if they're not dry by then, I'll just put them back in their place in the evening and make sure there's no grow lights on them that could potentially scorch their leaves. I'm not sure if it's the sulfur part of the treatment, or that the leaves are a little bit more sensitive, or that there's water droplets on the leaves and you don't want to mix that with direct light or grow light. But either way, I don't want to scorch the leaves, so I'm going to avoid that if at all possible and leave these to dry completely. So I've actually not watered any of my cacti and succulents since December 1st, I believe, just because I wasn't home on January 1st, and I figured because it was winter that they could probably live without it for a month. They are feeling a bit squishy now. Maybe I shouldn't have left it quite as long, but I think they'll be absolutely fine. So I would normally water them with fertilizer water, but I don't think I'm going to this time. I'm just going to flush them through because I keep all of my cacti and succulents in semi-hydro. But without the water reservoir like I would for something like an alocasia or any of my other aroids that I keep in semi-hydro. They end up in a reservoir, whereas these ones kind of just live in dry rocks for most of the time. And I'll water them usually once a month, but like I said, I skipped this past month. So I'm just going to literally run them through under the tap with like lukewarm water and then let them drain out in my draining board. So let's have some fun doing this. I guess I should mention that I do have some in soil as well, like actually several, like my African milk tree, my booby cactus, my big Euphorbia ingens, stuff like this, where I've just not tried it in semi-hydro yet. For this one in particular, I was trying to get it to root because it was an unrooted cutting, and now that it's rooted I probably could move it to semi-hydro, but it seems perfectly happy in this. Like you can see it's growing new growth, so I'm not really mad about it. So I might just do as normal and continue watering once a month. Just gonna put these ones back into the glass that they live in normally, just to make a little bit more room on the draining tray. So I've just noticed that this one is looking extra floppy, and I feel like it's rotting in there. Cause like, I don't know, what's this? Is that rot? Is it dry rot? Oh no, I mean it's wet and squidgy. So I feel like I've definitely done something wrong with this one because it's rotting from inside there. Or maybe I can like take these bits off, these two side bits off, that one, and propagate these. Do you think that's possible? because it's basically just falling apart at this point. It is not a healthy camper, which is a shame, because I did quite like this one, but if it's not healthy, I don't know. I don't know. Should I water it anyway and see? I might just try. So now I think I'm just gonna leave these in here to dry for about an hour, maybe more. A lot of the things I'm doing today are like do it and then wait for things to be done. I just don't want to put them back in the cabinet, especially the soil ones with like super wet soil. So let them drain a little bit and they can go back in when they're a little bit drier, so it's not as humid when they do go back in. Let's grab my rehab box. Got loads of propagations just sat on top of it, which probably isn't the best thing because it's probably blocking the light from it, but I'm sure it's fine. My plan, I think, with this is to take some things out of the box, hopefully. Specifically, this variegated jade satin. Oh, it is hella rooted. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Hella rooted and stuck to this esqueleto. Oh my god, okay. So I might have to repot this one, but look at this beautiful new leaf on here. Oh my god. And you can kind of see the variegation coming into it. Hello, Cleo. You can see that it comes in, and it's very much so Polaroid variegation, because this leaf, I thought it was coming in perfectly green, and it just slowly turns better. But I do think I need to, honestly, I don't think it needs a bigger pot, just to tuck this in, but I can do that. My mini esqueleto. This one definitely had pests at one point. Yeah. But I honestly don't even really like the esqueleto. I don't think it's for me. This one also has a crazy root on it. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to keep this one. Maybe this one can be on my downsize list. If anyone in the UK is interested in this beautiful little esqueleto, let me know and I can get you a price on it. It's very healthy in here. Doing very well. Oh, this is so incredibly ready to pot up. This is my Forgetii white stripe that I cut, and it is so rooted. Just look at those roots. So good. But at the same time, I don't, again, feel like I need this plant. I feel like because I've been living essentially without these plants for so long, I don't feel like I need them. So maybe this is something that I could bring to a plant swap down the line. You can see in the leaf, this one has had pests previously. I've just checked, like I'm just checking now, and it doesn't look like it has thrips anymore. But all those like little silvery, like swirly lines in there, I'm pretty sure that's old pest damage. But Anyways, I can probably put this into semi-hydro, which would be awesome. This might be some sort of alocasia. It's not, oh, okay, well, it's rotted. I just pulled the corm out, so that's great. This one, what is this? I'm gonna give this to a friend this weekend. I know my friend Lottie will absolutely love this plant, and I'm seeing her this weekend, so it will be hers. More forgetti white stripe. I might pot these two together, these two, into one pot, add this one into here, because that should be fine for it, so I'll do that. This one's the like other part of it, but this just feels completely rotted, so I'm not even gonna bother with that, honestly. And then we've got a little obliqua, which is also doing fairly well. It's got some old damage in these leaves. I think it was because it had pests, but it seems to be perfectly happy on this, like a very, very mini lazy pole. So I think maybe we're at a time where I can like just take everything out of these boxes and not have a box full of stuff that I don't see ever, because I could very easily put this into my cabinet, I think. Yeah. Oh, did y'all see that? I literally just snapped this leaf off. I feel so dumb. Okay, well. I'm gonna grab a different pot really quick because I feel like this one's too skinny to fit both of those in. Definitely not my best work, but it will do. Then just gonna kind of do similar with this. Kind of pull it out and put it back in, hopefully without breaking leaves off this time. Pull it out, soil at the bottom, wrap that around. Okay. This one, with the esqueleto, I might just prune that root. And I don't have scissors on me right now, so I'm literally just gonna pull it off. Same with that one. Should be absolutely fine. I should give these a good water though, before they go into the cabinet. So, I have to figure out where these things go now. I feel like this doesn't really matter where it goes, mostly because I probably will end up trading it on, so maybe just down there for now. I do kind of need some high up space, or like small things space. Maybe that one's not the best there. What if we can bring this over? And no thank you, baby. Those are my plants. If we bring that over, we can kind of fit some other small things maybe. Put this down in here. Alocasia corms. Hi baby. This guy, that's too small. That's actually perfect. Can go there. Oh my goodness, I love that. This one, I think eventually, once this one, the variegated jade satin, is acclimated, I might join it together with the mint variegated one, because I think they're both jade satins, just different sorts of variegation. But for now, I want to make sure that this one acclimates okay. So maybe bring that down, because that's just corms as well. It doesn't need tons of light. And I don't know. Whoa! It doesn't really fit in that. Okay. Maybe there. I mean, it looks really good there, if nothing else. Yes, Cleo, can I help you? She just wants attention. It's adorable. I'm actually really sad. This morning I woke up and the little bits on the new growth bits on my variegated Thanksgiving cactus had fallen off. And so I've just put them into a little container of water in hopes that I can get them to root. I don't know, I'm actually really scared that they're going to rot. But we will see. I really hope they don't rot, but I don't really get much choice in the matter. And then the esqueleto can also go down at the bottom, because I will trade it away at some point. This will go this weekend, so I don't need to put it back. And then I just have to replace my Lepismium bolivianum in here somewhere. So I managed to fit it in the top shelf on this little platform thing, and I think we're doing okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. So this is my Alocasia bisma. Right, it is. I had to chop it back because it was dying. It does look like it might have some new growth in there, but I don't know. I don't know. Very full and luscious looking, and I'm actually really liking this bottom bit now. I think I was struggling with the big regales kind of blocking most things, but now I can actually use the back much better. I mean, I was using it before, but now I can actually see the things in there as opposed to them being fully blocked. And I feel like I have got a better idea of what's going on now and can pay more attention to things and make sure they're okay. Oh goodness. My Splendid is going to need a pole extension very soon. Or I could chop it, chop and prop, but it is so full. Yeah, I think these plants are gonna like it in here. It might be a bit of an adjustment, so I'm gonna keep an eye on them, but I feel like it is looking quite nice now. And now I can just bin these two that are obviously not happy. I'll save the pond, obviously. This one's got like loads of algae on it, look. But I'm going to boil the semi-hydro anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Not in this video because it's not that entertaining, but yeah, I will take these out and boil this stuff in my own time. Also, my glorious leaf is coming out strong. So excited for it. I'm sure it will kind of flip around towards this way because that's where the light's coming from. But I am beyond proud of this plant. Ooh, I need to figure out where I want long-term my dragon scale to go. Since I repotted it, I haven't quite found the spot for it yet. Maybe on Joe's desk because I took the cast iron plant off of that. Maybe. I feel like that would be a good spot, but these plants are very much so used to being in a cabinet situation. So actually this leaf looks like it's a bit unhappy. Probably because of the trauma of being root pruned, but otherwise it should be fine. This plant, it'll be fine. Also, I did notice that they're like two different types of dragon scale, because this one doesn't have the red veins and then this one does. Very, very interesting. I mean, they look quite similar from the front, not quite the same, but similar enough. I feel like the one on the left is a little bit more textured. The one on the right is a bit smoother. I don't know, but they are very slightly different plants, which is kind of cool. I kind of like it. I also just remembered that in the night, I got a notification saying that my ficus needed watering, my Ficus elastica schiferiana. So I've got my watering can of fertilizer water and we can go water that one and then anything else in that sort of zone that needs a bit of water, because if that one's dry, there's probably some other ones near it that are also dry. I just ripped a huge chunk off of this leaf. Sorry, Jose Bueno. My bad. It's doing pretty well otherwise though, which is good. I think I am getting ready to part with my big variegated monstera leaf as well, because it's just put out these two leaves, and again, they're just, they're nothing. And I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to get what I want, like, to grow out of this plant. And I have had this big leaf for, oh gosh, since like April 2022. So it's been in my collection for ages and I've like gotten loads of beauty out of it, but the plant just isn't growing. It doesn't have any other growth points on the trunk that are usable. So it's not going to grow into a big one. It's not going to grow into a variegated one, I don't think. So I think it might just be time for this one, which is sad, but it's okay. It's lasted me a really long time and it has been like a beautiful staple in my collection. I just feel like I don't necessarily need it anymore. It's just another plant that I need to care for at this point, and that isn't giving me loads of anything. This Schismatogloss is doing really well as well. Look at that. So good. I think it's loving this semi-hydro life. It's got a new leaf coming out in there as well. Awesome. Cool. So, in here has been watered to the best of my abilities. I think I've done like random bits of watering. I think I watered the semi-hydro in here the other day. So, I didn't really have that much to do, only like the sort of itty bitty soil plants that dry out super duper fast. So, that's good. I think I'm going to have a bit of a break and lunch while I continue to wait for the cacti and succulents to dry, because they're going to need to go back in here. But yeah, bit of a break for me, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
2 hours later.
Yeah, so I'm really liking these plant monitor things so far. I've only been trying them for a little bit, and the ones that are working work really, really well, and I'm able to like get notified when my plants need water. For some reason though, one of them isn't working. I got a 4-pack, and one of them isn't sending any data, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. I tried to contact customer support, but they're a little bit slow, so I'm not, like, it's not been resolved yet. But the 3 of the 4 that are working really well, and I have charged one of them so far. I charged my Bird of Paradise one, and it charged pretty quickly, and I was able to put it back in within like a couple hours. So yeah, it's been a good thing. I'm enjoying these. I would definitely consider getting more in the future, assuming they work. Like, assuming that the 4th one gets fixed, because they are a little bit pricey, but cool bit of tech. And especially for plants that maybe need a little bit more attention, they're a good call. So yeah. Also, I should say that my moisture meter, this bad boy that I have been using for like literally 5 years, finally stopped working completely. Basically, no matter what plant I put it on, even if it's just been watered, it will show up as dry. Let me grab one. Got the Cheveriana because y'all literally just saw me water that. But if I put it in here, come on, go in. It's showing as dry, even though I know for a fact that this isn't dry because I watered it this afternoon. So I think it's time for this one to go in the bin, unfortunately. But I mean, 5 years of use out of something that cost me like less than 20 pounds, I think is pretty good. Though I have heard of some people who experienced this from like the very start, like the ones that they get originally are broken, but I've been quite lucky with this. I swear my mum gave me some from the States because she had one when she had a snake plant at one point, and then I don't think that went well for her, so she doesn't really have any houseplants. So she had 2, and she gave them to me to pass on, and I can't for the life of me remember where I put them. But yeah, I'm a bit sad about this because I have sworn by these tools for most of my time as a plant parent. I mean, recently I have been using the finger method and just like having a look and kind of being aware of it, but at the beginning of my plant journey, this was basically like a lifesaver because I otherwise would not have known whether or not my plants were ready to be watered. So, bit sad, but it's okay, and maybe I will find those other ones somewhere. I've like looked in my boxes that they would have gone in, but they weren't there, so I'm not sure where I put it. I'll find them eventually, but just a shame. This probably has to go in the bin now, but yeah, happily watered plant. It's also time to water these moss poles. You can kind of tell that the moss is no longer damp. It's like not dry, but I would want it a little bit more moist ideally. So I'm gonna go through and water these. But I really quick wanted to mention that sometimes with the cup method, the cup doesn't drain that much, or it stops draining entirely, and that is completely normal. It just means that the holes in the cup have clogged up, and I just need to like go scrub out the bottom because I am usually putting fertilizer water in them. It means that sometimes there gets to be a little bit of gunk in it, and they need a little bit of help getting that out of the tiny little holes that are in the bottom. So I'll just pour the excess water into a different cup and give this one a bit of a clean, because you can see It's a little bit nasty. The like 4 holes in there are kind of filled with gunk. So that's completely normal. I'm gonna clean this and then go in and give these all a nice water. Get them nice and moist. Much cleaner now. It's not perfect or anything, but it will actually drip water out the bottom now. So that's very good. And of course, as always, I'm using fertilizer water to make sure that the roots inside of the moss poles are getting fertilized, because the sphagnum moss on its own doesn't really, like, doesn't inherently have like nutrients in it, I don't believe. I could be wrong in thinking that, but I'm pretty sure that that is the case. I've also been noticing more fungus gnats around lately than normal, and I think it's time for me to order some more nematodes to counteract them. I did this in, I think, autumn time, so maybe in like autumn and spring time would be good to kind of get them back into the system, the nematodes, in order to deal with the larvae of the fungus gnats in a sort of natural, chemical-free way. And then I could also set out more yellow sticky traps when I do that. But I have to order those first, so that won't be happening now. I'm just going to fill up this moss pole now with some moss, because this is going to go on top of my raphidophora tetrasperma, which is still drying, but it's almost dry now, and once it is, I can add this to the top and hopefully get it to start growing on there. I don't think I'm going to fill this pole all the way, because that is a whole heck of a lot of moss to be using, but at least a good chunk of it full, because my raphidophora tetrasperma grows so darn quickly. I'm pretty sure it would need to get filled up pretty fast, but I don't want to just like use my entire supply of sphagnum moss all at once, because that doesn't quite make sense. So I'm just going to build this one now and fill as I can. I do have this like bag of, not old sphagnum, but old sphagnum that I'm going to use first, just to not be wasteful. I genuinely don't remember what I had in this before, but I'm sure it will be fine. That's actually quite a good amount of sphagnum. I mean, not enough, but still a good amount. Put some of the live stuff in there as well. I should also mention that these are the Grow Vertical moss poles from Australia, I believe. And this is one of the like big chunky ones. I think they call it fatty, the fatty moss pole, because it is so chunky. But it's perfect for big plants like the raphidophora, where I have so much of it that it needs the big pole. There we go for now. I'll probably need to put more moss in this end as well as in the top of the pole, like the existing pole, in order to get them to meet in the middle. But that is easily doable. I'm gonna go see if the plant is dry enough to take out of the shower, and if it is, we can put this on now. As usual, taking off the top 2 zip ties on either side. Just gonna put a bit more moss in the top. And we can see how this one is. Probably needs a little bit more. Definitely making a mess on the ground, but that's okay. That should be perfect. And we can get this one on top. I like to make sure that the top one is going on the inside of the bottom one, because otherwise when you're watering it might cause some issues. The water can like slip out. Can I go down further? Are there roots that I have to contend with? Okay, well I just broke a bit, but that's okay. I've got so much of this plant that it really does not matter. There we go. Extension attached. Going to use my nail clipper here to cut the cable ties because it actually creates a rounded edge instead of a sharp one, which I would much prefer, and it makes it so my plants don't get stabbed by the cable ties while it's growing. There we go. It looks so good. And I think it is like all the way dry now. Just gonna take some garden Velcro and strap it around these top ones just to get them firmly attached. It is a bit of a shame that I broke off one of the bits of new growth, but I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully they will be fine and will attach nicely to this new pole, and it can be taller. It's literally taller than I am, this pole. It's gonna be a really tall plant. I'm not mad at it though. So I actually have the perfect stool for it because this is an adjustable stool. So I can make it go lower to account for the taller moss pole. But I actually got this at an antique market in the south of France, so couldn't tell you where to buy one. Right, I think that will do. Let's see. Look how tall it is. It's like very nearly at the ceiling. I love it though. I think I'm gonna like this plant even more now that it's a bit taller. I probably even could put it on the ground. I'm quite lucky in that Cleo doesn't go for my plants much. Let me sit down one sec. So what I was saying is that Cleo doesn't really go for my plants much, so I could put it on the ground. Like, I've had my euphorbia there in the window for, I mean, ever since I got it, which was October, November time, and she's not been bothered about it at all. In fact, it actually deters her from hopping up on my desk, which she does in the middle of the night and then like knocks stuff over, which is not ideal. So it's actually been a deterrent for her. But I probably could put this on the ground. I would just have to be a bit like more aware of it and pay a bit more attention to her, because I don't want her eating something that is toxic. So I'm a bit in two minds about it. I could Like, it's not like she can't reach it. She can totally reach that. And sometimes she even, like, stands on top of the bedside tables. So it's not like she doesn't have access to it at all. She's, like, I don't know why I'm so concerned about something being on the floor. But maybe I shouldn't be as concerned. I should trust her. Because she is, like, a really good girl. And the only time she ever really goes for any of our plants is if my plants, is if she's seeking attention and we're not giving it to her, but then we just give her attention. So I mean, I probably shouldn't instill that behavior within her, that if she messes with my plants, she gets attention, but I'd rather her do that and then not have to worry about my plants. But honestly, that's not very often that she does that. She'll just get the zoomies and run around, and that's when we give her attention. So I'm saying that as if we never give Cleo attention. She gets attention all the time. She is attention spoiled. But like every once in a while, like if we've been working all day and she's not had like us to play around with, she'll get a little bit naughty. But I honestly would say it's maybe once a month that she tries to go for something. And it's usually the plants that are like, I don't know how to describe that. Fungus gnat. More long and slender and kind of like dangly, because they remind her more of her toys. So this one will probably be absolutely fine, but for now it still fits on the stool underneath the ceiling, so it will stay here. So yeah. Oh, I'm really glad that I've done that, because I've been putting it off for so long and just chopping and chopping and chopping away the top. And I mean, I guess there's not really a point in having a plant that doesn't grow, because like are you even caring for it then? I don't know. I mean, I have cacti and succulents and they don't particularly grow that much, and I still love them. So I don't know, but I'm glad that I got that done. Now I feel like I'm in a much better place with things. And the fact that I've started my sulfur treatment is brilliant, because I really did not want to start that. I think some of the smaller plants were still drying when I went to grab that one, so I'm not quite going to put them back. Also because the sun will come around and shine on that. So I'm a little bit nervous about it, but it's like fully dry, so it should be fine. Okay, I think at this point my cacti and succulents should be ready to go back into the cabinet. They should be dry enough by now. They've been sitting for a few hours at this point because I took a break for lunch and I've been doing all this other stuff. So let's go put those back. Before we do though, I just want to show you the little Cleo baby right now. When it's sunny and I'm not working at my desk, like today when I'm filming, I put my chair up next to the window and she loves sitting here just like soaking in the sun. This little cutie. Yeah. You like it here, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Okay, let's deal with my cacti and succulents. So before I put things back, I give them a bit of a shake just to make sure that they don't have like any excess water. They probably won't, seeing as I did them under the tap, but if I'm having them sit in water, I have to do the like shake at the end to make sure that they have not got too much in there. But actually, all of these feel dry enough to just go straight back. honestly, I have made the decision to throw this one away because like it sucks, but if it's not healthy like inside the soil, then it's not worth me keeping it. So it is going in the bin. So I actually got all of my plant tours I wanted to do done today. I'm genuinely really proud of myself because the list felt like it was quite a lot of big tasks, but turns out that they are pretty manageable in the end. So I am proud of myself for that, but I'm not gonna wait until the sulfur fungicide plants are dry before coming back to you, because it could be a couple more hours later this evening, so it's kind of not worth that wait just to see me put some plants back on a shelf. But by the time you're watching this, they will be back and happy in their new clean mold-free home, which is really good. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about today and like I have accomplished quite a lot. So thank you so much for joining along with me. It really does make a huge difference because I feel like I get so much more done when I am doing plant tours with all of y'all. So I hope that you're feeling the same and you got some stuff done as well, if that's what you were doing. And if you were just chilling and relaxing, I hope you enjoyed your chilling and relaxing time. Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to Anna and Lavender Misty for joining the Good Growing fam over on Patreon. Thank you both so much. I am so excited to hopefully meet you in this weekend's live chat. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, it is £3 or $4.50 a month. I think about €4-ish, maybe. I'm not entirely sure of the conversion rate at the minute. But you get everything for that one low price, which is bonus content, live chats, access to a Discord community where we like chat plants and help each other out on a regular basis. You get to know me a bit better, I get to know you a bit better, and we just generally have a really good time. So that's there if you want it, but absolutely no pressure to join if that is not your cup of tea. I totally understand. So thank you all again so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If I talked about anything in this that you want more on, let me know and I can hopefully make that happen for you, and subscribe for more. Don't forget to keep growing and I will see you in the next one. Bye!